He had a really original build, well thought out. Too bad he lost in the more conventional styles of play later on, but he's definitely a player to be feared and reckoned with. So, getting into this game, in the bottom location of Belshir Vestige, we have the red Protoss player, Darkomicron from Mouse Control.
Yep, and at the other side of the map, we have from Lowland Lions, it will be LLL.Jona, the blue Zerg. And through all the applause for the players, we're gonna take a look at what they're gonna do. What do you expect to see so far? Like from a Zerg VP, Zerg versus Protoss perspective, what would you like to see?
Well, it looks like, by the look of things, that Darkomicron is going for a Forge, fast expand, and transitioning smoothly into pausing the game.
I was actually his opponent doing that.
Maybe the game speed is a little bit off. I don't think you can see it here, as it's a custom game. We are running the game hard.
It says always faster on games hard. From one of our admins, so I think he's just feeling it's a little bit slow.
Yeah.
He hasn't had that energy drink yet.
Alright, so we should be getting back into the game shortly here. As I said, Darkomicron probably going to be going for Forge Fast Expand. You know, this map is kind of tricky because it is very difficult to engage on the surface of this map because of the alternating high ground, lower ground, middle ground. There are a lot of detours, attack paths. You can get a lot more flanks than compared to some other maps. So you have to have a really good army control, especially in the late game where the space is suddenly more condensed because there are more units in the same amount of space, basically. So it kind of starts working against you. In the middle game, a very skilled player with army control can take a decisive advantage. And regarding Protoss opening, well, this map, thanks to the terrain, is well suited to both Gateway Expanse and Forge Expanse. I actually, me myself, I prefer a Gateway Expand on this map just so that I can put early amounts of pressure onto the Zerg. Compared to like Daybreak, never go Gateway Expand on Daybreak because it's such a perfect map for a Forge Fast Expand, right?
Yeah, and if you want to do something as a Zerg in early aggression, you could go for a Mailing Bus, because the expansion does have a large ramp you have to roll off as a Protoss player. That's something you could utilize, but like you said, there's a lot of high and low grounds and a lot of variations on the map which are ideal for Protoss, but the counter-attack paths and the way to surround from those locations is something you really have to utilize as a Zerg. So you can have very interesting games in this map.
Yeah, we should, if the game would actually continue. Yes. For which we are still waiting on the decision of the players and admins. Unfortunately, I know not a single word in Dutch, and these guys are just speaking Egyptian to me right now.
All right.
So to say.
I will translate it for you, saying that I'm doing a very good job as a caster. Oh, there we go.
Never mind. We're going back into the game, but please continue. Please continue.
Oh, there we go.
You are doing a very good job casting, and
the guy next to me.
You mean that guy right behind you?
He's not doing a too good job. He's been sitting there the whole time and hasn't said anything.
Right. Wow. That's rude.
Now he starts.
As you can see, the atmosphere is quite relaxed here in the lobby stream,
and
that's the way we like it, right? So
we are here for some amazing games of StarCraft. We're also here to have a good time. We hope you guys are having a good time as well. Also on the stream, of course. And so far, this game is getting underway, and I think is he going to try and go for a pool first, for hatchery first?
I don't think he will. There's the pool going down just now. He hasn't scouted his opponent yet, so he can't know what kind of opening Darkomicron went for. And you know, if he knows his opponent just a little bit, which Jona is just the kind of person who would research his opponents. He probably knows that Darkomicron, well, he likes to play a little bit cheesy, non-standardly time from time, so just playing it safe is the best bet, especially when you're down a game. So you don't want to take those risks. Nice pylon block there in the natural, and cancels
it actually. Yeah.
And the Nexus should go down very, very shortly here.
No, he's just gonna be annoying with the probe once again. Oh, and he's doing a really good job actually being annoying with this probe.
Really good job getting the Nexus before the hatchery. Yeah. That's every Protoss player's dream. But Darkomicron has been consistently successful in denying hatcheries being put down today throughout the whole event. So
yeah,
he's surprising there.
He's also going to be very safe, throws down the cannon. Like I said, it is a very large wall to wall off, but with a gateway here, it should be fine. And he's having a nice opening for 25 minerals. There was a lot of delay being done.
Oh yeah, definitely. He delayed that hatchery by more than 30 seconds. First 4 lings already on the map for Jona. He's just going to take map control with them. Find this pesky probe. Of course, that's job number 1. Job number 2, check if the probe managed to put pylons somewhere in an inconspicuous location. Job number 3, keep tabs on the Protoss third and the natural and see what units get out.
Yep, and it looks like that probe will get chased down eventually, but as you can see, he already has the hatchery revealed, so he knows exactly what's going on. There's just going to be 3 bays. Quite standard play from the Zerg so far, as from Darko, to be honest. And let's see what he transitions to, because it's up to Darko to surprise us with the strategy.
Well, we can't really tell so far. Just by having 2 gases in the main base means that it is not going to be anything fishy, anything out of the ordinary. 2 gases are perfectly standard if you want to tech at a regular pace. But also, if you want to make something like a gateway pressure, not necessarily intended to kill your opponent, because you can't really do that with 2 gases, then yeah, you can do that. Which means Jona pretty much will have to scout his opponent at the opportune time. And now the Cyber Core is finished, so we can see what kind of approach Darkomicron has in mind, and it is going to be a Stargate play.
Yeah, but I just showed the guys on stream the vision of the 2 players right now. Basically, Jona, it looks like he's map hacking because he can see the entire map. And Darkomicron, he can see like 2 meters outside of his base, it's okay. But playing a little bit from the dark here, and that means that Jona is going to have a much better read on his opponent than Darko is going to get. And he also has Overlords in position to really scout out any potential tech. We do see the Stargate almost finishing up for Darko. Not yet scouted by Jona though.
Not yet, and it looks like it might be a Phoenix coming out of there. It's just waiting for the next 6 gases. No, it is going to be a Void Ray.
A Void Ray.
Oh, this is actually really smart, I have to say. If you take a look where the 3rd base of the Zerg is, it's quite a ways off from the natural. The creep is not connecting those 2 bases, and the only anti-air the Zerg has in the early game basically are Spore Crawlers and Queens. So if you get a couple of Void Rays, like 1, 2 Void Rays, and send your Gateway army with the Mothership Core there, you can actually get a kill. If not on the hatchery, then definitely on the Queen. You'll spores those drones. But I think this is more aimed at killing the hatchery itself. And additional Queens won't be able to rally to the defense in time, just because there is no creep connection yet.
Yep, we do already see some Spore Crawlers on the map though. Good decision by Jona to really secure those bases. The creep spread also coming up to connect those bases. Like you mentioned, that's a really big deal during these games. But Jona proving up to the task of really doing everything right on the moment, it looks like anyway. He also should be aware of the fact that the Void Ray is coming with the good map control he has. And I don't think this is going to do that much damage, Bell.
Well, if he positions the Void Rays correctly, out of the range of the Spore Crawler, but... oh, really smart response there by Jona, positioning that Queen exactly where Darkomicron did not want that Queen to be. So he's going to be pulling back right now. I think what he wanted to do was just go there, kill the Queen, then kill off the hatchery, and when other Queens come, recall back home, because he would have had enough energy by that time. The hatchery would have gone down, but excellent reaction there by Jona. With that Spore and the Queen combined, those Void Rays would not have stayed alive for long. So probably he's going to go into a longer game right now. He's taking a 3rd base. His +1 is on the way. He has to be careful of roachling counterattacks. We also have Hydras in production already. So he has to play this very safe. He's already building the wall at the 3rd base to make himself a little bit safer, but I don't think he actually has... No, he has no Robo Bay in sight, so it's just going to be Immortals and basic gateway units with a couple of those Void Rays, which he completely cut production of.
Yep, and Darko also taking a 3rd base right now, adding some Photon Cannons straight in the mix there, making a full wall off, including the rocks. So that means he's gonna have a very safe base there. Hard to pressure that. I don't know what Jona's gonna think about that though. It looks like he's moving on a little bit across the map. Has some Hydras, some Zerglings, and will take map control from the Zealot at the Watchtower. So far, the creep spread has been good, but he has 3 queens actually dedicated to that. So he could use it a little bit more, I feel like. But Zerglings and Hydras, will it be enough to actually break this? What do you think?
He might be able to break the wall actually. If he might be able to kill a gateway or 2 maybe. But I don't think that's really doable. This is fabulous right now by Darkomicron. Great force fields.
Great time warp as well.
Oh my goodness. Too bad there weren't any Colossi yet, and I don't think he is actually intending on building Colossi. He's got this Twilight Council down. He's getting Blink. He's continuing Immortal production. He still doesn't have a Robo base, so I think he's going straight into Storm, which, in my opinion, is a very good choice. The Zerg already, the most common response to Robo play is getting Aspire, just in case of those Colossi. Another attack by Jona, but it is completely futile. Just too many units here. Great force fields by Darkomicron, and he will hold again.
Yeah, having no problems cleaning up that Zerg army right there, as Darko is doing a really good job actually during this game. Having good force fields, good unit positioning, and taking the right engagements. I think it was very important for him that he actually walled off that third base, so that there's no Zergling run-bys, no annoyance. You saw he poked in there, he was like, okay, that's just too much, I'm gonna break it from another side. And that's exactly where his army was positioned, because the army positioning he's got, defense is natural, and his third base right now. Very good.
Now, I think a little bit of a mistake by Darkomicron, because we have a Muta switch incoming. And yes, he does have a Stargate, but now it will depend on with how many Mutas the Zerg player is able to hit him. Because one Stargate, when you have suddenly 20, 25 Mutas appearing on your screen, that's not going to cut it. You need 2 additional Stargates. So the question is, how soon will he see these Mutalisks? And he's doing 2 simultaneous attacks, trying to go for the third with the Lings, and at the same time with the Mutalisks at the main base. But those Mutas are being chased away by the cannons that have been built. And Phoenix production is resumed at this moment. Second Stargate is finishing up. So yeah, Darkomicron, when he saw that with the hallucination, was like, right, I gotta do this quickly. And he did. He anticipated exactly the entry point for the Mutalisks, shielded that, and used the rest of his army to take care of the rest of his bases. Right now, Mutalisks are going around.
Yeah, they're gonna poke into the third base from Darkon, even though one cannon is finished. I don't know if it's gonna be enough. He is gonna lose that pylon for sure, and we'll lose some of the cannons that are being built. There's also a cannon on the top side, of course, defending from the other point of entrance. The Phoenix are gonna come on for Darko. He's also researching +1 damage, and he's getting a fleet beacon, so I'm guessing he's also going for that range upgrade. Once that happens, these Mutas are gonna be dead weight.
Oh yeah, I mean, he still will have to deal with them, but even this amount of Phoenixes he's got, with that range upgrade, couple more maybe, and it should be enough to take care of practically any amount of Mutalisks unless you miss micro. All it takes is having 8 to 10 Phoenixes, I think. With a Zerg, you never want to overcommit on any kind of unit, because if the Zerg does have a strong economy, which, by the way, Jona did a perfect job of, he's on 4 bases taking a 5th, his income will be skyrocketing, and at that point, you kill off one composition the Zerg has, bam, he instantly switches into a different one, the only difference there being maybe not having the upgrade for the different units, attack upgrades. But then, those Phoenixes, they're like Corruptors. When you kill off the air army, you can't use them very efficiently versus a heavy ground force.
Yeah, talking about Corruptors, we do have some Corruptors on the field now for Jona actually. They can take those Phoenix shots quite easily in a straight up engagement, but during harass it's very hard to keep up with the Phoenixes. The Phoenixes with the range upgrade that's coming up also outrange the Corruptors, so that makes it a little bit difficult to actually make them cost efficient. But he's gonna stick to this air heavy army because he's even getting a greater Spire right now, Bell. It surprises me.
He wants to continue those air upgrades. He already has +1 flyer attacks, and he definitely wants +2 and then +3, probably. I mean, if he can get rid of the Phoenixes and the Void Rays, potentially he could try to transition into Broodlords because there is no AoE for the Protoss that could deal with mass amounts of Broodlords. So far, his primary job is going to be keeping his current army alive and slowing the Protoss down, but he's not doing a very good job of
that right now. No, his army is definitely not going to stay alive in that heavy Phoenix fire, not to mention everything underneath happening. I don't think Broodlords are going to help that much, so the Phoenix are actually just engaging this, being really annoying, trying to use that extra range to his advantage, and it looks like Darkomicron is moving out. 2 good force fields hold off a lot of the units from that side. The Mutas right now taking so much damage from these Phoenixes, and I don't know if this is going to be even possible to remake anything that's going to kill this army at this point.
No, I don't think it will. The Corruptors are getting smacked as well, so... You know, after this fight, we still have like 12 Phoenixes to 13 Mutas, which is a non-issue at this point with the range upgrade. And you know, if I look at the ground army, Protoss has mass amounts of Stalkers and Zealots with good upgrades, and Void Rays to complement them. 2 attacks at the same time at different fronts, though. As Darkomicron is pushing into Jona's territory, he's going for the heart right now into the natural base. Jona has to pull back. He wanted to kill that base on the far right, but not gonna happen. Does he have enough units to combat this army? I don't think so neither, Odin. I mean, there's almost nothing on the ground, and the air is completely useless against those Phoenixes.
You have to put insult to injury. There's even Zealots slapping at the last remaining real expansion on the right side of the map. This is gonna be G and another G. Good luck from Jona to Darkomicron. Very good games.